Good morning, everyone. In my previous class, I had asked you a question. Um, the question was, in a reversible reaction, if you have delta G negative value for the forward reaction, that means the forward reaction is spontaneous. And since it's a reversible reaction, so the backward reaction should have delta G a positive value. So my question was, um, how the backward reaction is happening. If it has a delta G positive value, that means it's a non-spontaneous reaction. But in a reversible reaction, both the forward and backward reactions are happening spontaneously. So how is that possible? Um, that was a doubt question. So in this video, I'm going to explain you using an example how this is happening. So in this class, I'm going to give you the explanation using an example. My example is this reaction, conversion of N2O4 into NO2. It's an irreversible reaction. The delta G, standard value of delta G is plus 5.40 kilojoules. That means it's an endothermic reaction, or you can say it's a non-spontaneous reaction. So under normal conditions, standard conditions, our N2O4 should not be converted into NO2. And the reversible process, that is conversion of NO2 into N2O4, this reaction should go to the completion. But it's a very well-known fact that the above reaction happens and there is always a equilibrium between these two things. None of the reaction goes to completion, only the equilibrium exists. So this I'll explain in the form of a graph. I'm plotting between amount of your reactant, or you can say fraction of N2O4 dissociated, or you can say the amount of reaction proceeded. And here we will take standard free energy, that is G naught. If I plot a graph, this kind of graph exists. If you see, there is stoichiometric coefficient too. So let's say this is the value of free energy. This is the value of free energy of 2 moles of NO2. Give it a value Y. All right. And this is free energy of 1 mole of N2O4. Let's say this is X point. And this is equilibrium, that is Z point. So I'm not giving any scale here, and the reason the scale is not being drawn here is because the absolute value of free energy is not known, but the graph is plotted on the basis of change in the free energy, because we can measure the change in free energy, but we cannot measure the absolute value of free energy. All right. And let's say this is the fraction of N2O4 that decomposed. So if you see here, at this point equilibrium is being established. Here you have only your reactant, here you have only your product. And if I write down the energy differences, this is 5.4 kilojoule. This is 0.84 kilojoule. Now what is happening? At this equilibrium point corresponds to 16.6% dissociation of N2O4 into NO2. So at this point, the free energy is minimum. At the equilibrium point, the free energy is minimum. The standard free energy of the reaction mixture at the equilibrium point is less than that of the pure reactant, and the free energy of the pure reactant is 0.84 kilojoule more than the free energy at the equilibrium. We cannot measure the absolute value, so what I am telling you is the amount of free energy that is more than the equilibrium point. So at X point it is 0.84 kilojoule more than the free energy at the Z point. And similarly, if you see the free energy when the entire reactant is converted into the product, this is not possible. The complete conversion is not possible. But if that stage reaches, you have free energy more than Z. How much it will be? It will be 0.84 plus 5.4. That is 6.24 kilojoule more than that of your equilibrium point. Or in other word, you can say when 1 mole of your N2O4 is converted into N2O, the change in free energy delta G naught will be equal to minus 0.84 kilojoule. And similarly, if you consider the conversion of 2 moles of NO2 into N2O4, the change in free energy will be minus 6.24 kilojoule. So if you come to the equilibrium point from the N2O4 side, even then the delta G is negative, and when you are coming from NO2 side, that time also your delta G is equal to minus 6.24 kilojoule. That means in both the cases you have a negative delta G naught value, and hence both the reactions are spontaneous. I hope you understand this.